In this second part, we are going to deal with communication. We are going to set up Gmail as a relay within Proxmox so that Proxmox can communicate via email if there are topics that need to be communicated. We will also install functionality so that whenever Proxmox starts or stops, an email is generated. Without further ado, let us start. My VM is off, I'm powering it on. We're continuing from where we left off in the first stage, and this has booted. Let's start by setting up Gmail. I'm logged into my Gmail account and I'm going to create an application password. So I go here, click on Manage Google Account, and since I never remember where it is, I'm going to search for app passwords, and here I'm going to enter a descriptive name for my app, say create, and I'm given a password that will be necessary for this association. I'm copying this, and even though you have spaces for readability, you need to remove them. By the time the VM has been made available, this account will have been deleted. And therefore, one of the first things you need to do if you want to modify or adapt it or practice on it, you need to create your own app password, as I am showing here, and wherever there is a reference to either this email account, klebon.covid@gmail, or the password, you need to adjust them for yourself. Let's go back into Proxmox. If I head into users, that would be under data center, the root account, you will see that root@pem is associated with the email account I entered during the installation. Furthermore, if I scroll down to notifications, I have enabled mail to root, type send mail, and basically this is the mechanism to send an email. If I double click that, mail to root sends to root@pam, which redirects to my email. I may add additional email addresses, but it is beyond the scope here. The first thing we need to do, therefore, is to get the SMT in Gmail up and running. And I'm going to shell out. I need to install additional modules that are necessary for the mail utility to communicate securely with Gmail. Update. No packages need updating. Next in line, I'm going to install the modules. I now need to set up my Gmail relay, and to do that I need to edit the postfix main.cf file, and I will remark out the empty relay host and add the code to use Gmail as a relay host, smtp.gmail, the port, and various settings. Save this, and now I need to provide the credentials, and here SMTP address, the port, the email address, and the app password which was generated in Gmail. If you want to adjust for your needs, this file needs to be replaced, and you also need to change the access rights. You will see that only root has read-write access. You need to use the hash utility to create a hashed database of your credentials. We restart Postfix, we check that everything has worked well, and now we're going to test this out. So I'm echoing this is a test email, true mail, with the subject shell test email to this email. Let's see if all worked well. I get my test email here. This is a test email. So we have comms. Let's go into Proxmox, work our way to notifications, and we send a test. Yes, I'm sending a test. And here again, if I go, I get my test notification. So Proxmox is able to communicate using Gmail as an SMTP. Having completed the messaging aspect from within Proxmox, I am now going to share how to receive an email whenever Proxmox restarts. It shuts down or it stops. In this environment, rather than Proxmox, we're adjusting Debian, on which Proxmox resides. The first thing we need to do is to create a script, and this script is going to receive a parameter which it will incorporate into the subject, and using the mail command it's going to send this subject to this email address. You can use as many environment variables and add as much information as you think fit for your needs. In my case, and my reasoning is that an email for me is an alert, and it just tells me something has happened, and if I need further into the topic, then I would go to the source. I save the file, and now I need to make that script executable. And I now need to place this into a service. I'm going to set it up, description, and what happens at the start and at the stop. Startup and shutdowns are the parameters we saw in the bootmail script. Save that, and now we need to enable this service. Check that it has been activated. We're good to go. Before we test this out, I want to share that while researching this topic, I did find an alternative for when the system starts, and that is based on using the crontab command. Crontab has the ability to run at certain points, so you would place this line in your crontab file. The thing is, it works for startup, but I couldn't find a functional equivalent for shutdown. Let me exit from here. Let's tile a few things. No emails. Let's start and test it out. So I'm going to go for a reboot. Yes, the virtual machine has rebooted, and if everything has been set up properly, I would expect an email. I got the email. Let's maximize here. I got the email that the host shut down, and I got my email that the host started up. This concludes the second part. Let me shut down. See you in the next part.